Yo. So if you are like me, and I certainly hope that you're not, uh, you may have heard and wondered about this thing that you keep hearing about called making and selling beats. No, I don't mean drum loops or 808 sounds or beats or what drum machine you use. I am talking about beats. What are they? You hear it all the time, especially from younger artists, beat makers, and rappers. I hear this all the time from students who walk into my class and say, "What do you do?" "I make beats," and or "I'm a rapper." And "I'm a rapper" usually means they download beats and rap over them. Or I write songs, and then writing songs actually means they're just getting these beats. And we're going to talk about that today. But again, I don't mean a beat like one, two, three, four. If I look online and say, "What is a beat?" It says beats are the periodic and repeating fluctuations heard in the intensity. I'm not talking about science about what a beat is. We're not talking about that. We're talking about beats that people are making, leasing, and selling online. We're going to define it today. And in some cases, not just making online income, but even getting top 100 hits, publishing deals, and possibly superstardom. We talk about all kinds of music income on this channel, but beats could be maybe one of them that we could add to our list of different things you could be doing while you're doing licensing, while you're doing Spotify, while you're doing all the other things. But today we are going to find out definitively about beats. We not only have me here today, but we also have one of the top online influencers and a man who sells and makes and sells beats himself. And he's one of the top guys in the sync licensing space. And let me tell you, folks, this is going to be dope.
Drop the beat, E-Money. Let's go.
This is no stranger to you guys who watch this channel. You see his channel as well, Mr. Anthony Clint Jr. of Clint Music. Man, thanks so much for joining me today.
Eric, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it and excited to talk about it, man. Talk about beats and sync and all of that dope stuff, man. So,
by the way, today I'd like to be called E-Money.
E-Money. You're E-Money today.
I'm E-Money today. So on today's show, with Clint's help, we're going to uncover what beats are for those who don't know. How to start out making and selling beats, how to make music income from it. Listen, everybody acts like everybody knows about beats, right. And I think it's a little like non-exclusive libraries or sync licensing. It's one of those things you don't know about until someone talks to you about it. Right. And then you start investigating the world. And so I want to just talk about that, how it works with other things like content ID and PROs and royalties and sync licensing and non-exclusive licensing. How does it mix with all that? Because I know there's some weirdnesses there. And so when we start to talk about making money with beats, I want to start trying to figure out how to define the beats. And so that's what we're going to talk about first. It's just, we did this a little bit in the last time that we were together. We talked about defining beats a little bit, but just kind of give us a definite answer for what a beat is. I heard it this yesterday. I walked into the school and there's these two guys. They're both kind of new teachers at our school, and they were working on a rap tune, and one was engineering, one was in the booth. And I said, "Where'd he get this track?" And he says, "I think he got it from YouTube." And I'm like, so I went and asked the guy. I was like, I found out what this means, but I was like, "What do you mean you got it from YouTube? Do you mean you got it from YouTube and then there's a link to Beatstars?" And he says, "Yes." I said, "Okay, that lets me know." But define beats for us and what a beat maker would be.
Yeah. So beats is just an instrumental. Anytime I use the term beats, or if you hear, something like, buy a beat, lease a beat, it's a full instrumental, AKA full composition. It's just a different term that we use to describe that. A beat maker is someone who just focuses on creating instrumental tracks, and that it kind of stops there. You know what I mean? Sometimes we use a producer, beat maker. A producer can make a beat. Sometimes a producer doesn't make a beat, and
Hmm.
he puts all the pieces together, the musicians and things, and produces, an instrumental or a song using other talent. But a beat maker, usually more so electronic based, DAW based, or MPC, like drum machine based, sampler based. You'll see that as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all it is. It's just creating instrumentals.
Is beats how you got started? Add that in.
Yes. So I was a musician first. I was a musician first, and then I got into making beats. Man, like around 15. Honestly, earlier than that, because there was this thing on PlayStation. It was called Music Generator. So in middle
Yeah, I
school,
remember.
I had Music Generator, and you can move around loops and just kind of create your own thing. Now, at that time, I was
Yeah.
trying to be a rapper, and that didn't really work out for me. So um, I circled back around in middle school, going into high school, and a friend of mine came across this program. It was like $10 at Best Buy. It was called Magic's Music Maker.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really what kind of took everything off, with just, arranging loops and making beats and stuff with the loops that was in that program. And then at 16 I started, playing keys. I was a drummer first, so 16 I started playing keys. And then from there it transitioned to kind of making beats on the keyboard, using the sounds on there, and then I would transfer it to the computer and structure everything out and all that stuff. And that was kind of like the evolution for me. And it was, it was all instrumental stuff. Did a couple albums of me rapping and whatnot. Yeah, man. And then I realized I really fell in love with the art and process of production, and just putting sounds together and turning it into something that people enjoy listening to. So I just kept doing that through high school, through college. I would just make beats, just because it was fun to do. And then I started implementing that musicianship, with the beats. And then from there started creating music for artists. And then that's when it turned into full blown producer. We're not
Yeah.
just making tracks now. Now we're instructing the artists and trying to bring the best performance out of them. Making sure the recording sounds good, making sure just that bridge between the engineer and the artist and what we want the recording to sound like. That's when I started getting into, just producing full songs.
Cool.
Um, so yeah, so now I do a little bit of everything, man. I can make a beat, I can score something to picture, I can produce a full song. But that was kind of like the evolution for me.
So I hear you talk about a lot of times on your channel that if you create something and it doesn't get a bite at a library, or for whatever reason it doesn't make it into the sync world, you can just throw it into your Beats world. So I imagine you're on Beatstars and other places like Airbit or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Have a store on Beatstars, Airbit, and yeah, I think I use those stores primarily because I like to produce a lot of like R&B, neo soul stuff. I don't get a lot of requests for that stuff. I get more so R&B, hip hop requests a lot in sync, but the slower ballad kind of stuff don't see a lot of, but I love to create that.
Hmm.
So the beat stores is kind of my outlet to get, those slower ballads and those neo soul and R&B and trap soul tracks out of my system, and
Gotcha.
then send them off to artists who may not have huge budgets, like some of the major artists out there
Sure.
to pay $5,000-$10,000 for a track. So yeah.
So, with everything else you got going on, your licensing stuff and this channel and other stuff, where does Beats fall percentage wise? Do you make any income of it? That percentage
Yeah.
wise of income, does it make a dent?
It doesn't, it went down over the years, mostly because I haven't posted a lot of like me creating the beats, especially on social media. But when I used to post of just like, the process of creating the beat, it was mostly, I'll say like 2019, 2020
Hmm.
maybe. I did a lot more. So my sales on those stores were definitely up. I'll still get one occasionally. Percentage wise, 5%
Okay,
maybe of,
fair.
of everything. Yeah.
This is one of those things that there are people who get into non-exclusive licensing, to stock libraries or something like that, and they really focus on it. And there are people who have made thousands of dollars a month on that. Sometimes, even now, you got people who are making money on Motion Array or Artlist or something, and they're making some dough with that. But that's because they concentrate on it mostly. And
Yeah,
and in listening to the podcast and watching the videos I've watched, that it's the same in the beats world. The people who are making money on it probably don't do anything else. They
exactly.
focus only on making beats, and they put videos out on YouTube, and they tag them, and they do what they call type beats, which a trap type beat or Meek Mill type beat or something like that. And
Yeah,
it's a way that people can search for a beat of a certain artist they like and look for a type beat. As a matter of fact,
yeah,
if you type in on YouTube, the first thing it says is type beat,
yeah,
and so you can go there and find it. And so they are doing their own Instagram and all that kind of stuff, and it's all geared towards here's my newest beat, and then just and they're doing ads for traffic, to get people to their YouTube pages so that people can find them on YouTube because it's the second biggest search engine that there is, and then
yeah.
they can go to their BeatStars and lease their track or whatever. However, it seems to me that most of these people are in the hip hop space. What percentage of BeatStars would you say is hip hop based?
Man, I'll say a
Like
large percentage hip
80?
hop because man, 80, maybe even higher. I would
Wow.
say, yeah, I would hit 90 at least, just because, I mean, if you look at everything else, when we were looking at the RIAA stats,
Mm-hmm.
hip hop being, one of the top genres. You look at, the Billboard charts, you're going to see hip hop on there at the top. Even in sync licensing, you look at a lot of requests, a lot of music that's being used in ads and things like that. A lot of it is hip hop driven now. So I feel like naturally, when you have a genre of music that is popular, it's the current pop music, and something that's requested, you're going to see that trend in every platform and market, because people know that that's what people are liking, that's what people are buying. So yeah, I definitely think it's a large percentage. And I also know, some producers who do more like tropical stuff still kind of has has hip hop drums and stuff like
Like
that. Um,
Afrobeat maybe or something
Afrobeat,
like
yep,
that.
yep. So all of that stuff is
EDM
hot on
maybe,
there as well.
EDM and all forms of electronic music maybe.
Yeah,
Again, maybe we should talk about the type of person who's going there to lease beats, and those are probably rappers
yep. You got rappers, you
or
got
hip
R and
hop
B
artists.
singers as well. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Hip hop, R&B. So yeah,
Are you making beats that are 2 minutes to 3 minutes tops? Is that what the length is on beats?
I'm still around that 2.5. Yeah, for an
Because
instrumental, because
that's
I
pop
think
music.
yeah, I think a lot of the ones on there, yeah, I would have like a third verse on there, or a bridge on some of them. So yeah.
And I hear sometimes they have vocals on them or they have vocal tags and things like that. And we'll talk about tags in a minute, but they have vocals on them that are like in the chorus or something like that sometimes, or what?
Yep, yep. You can have a hook, so it'd be like a beat with a hook, meaning you kind of have a vocalist or even a rapper just with a hook, so that the artist can come in. The hook is already there to inspire them for the idea, and then they'll just go in, fill in the verses, maybe do some ad libs on the hook or something like that. So yeah, that I think that's a way also to kind of increase the value and marketing of a particular track as well, is throwing a hook on there and kind of showing the artist, hey, this is what this could sound like, and give you the vibe that you're looking for.
And also, do you when you put a song up to BeatStars, are you automatically putting stems up, or do you wait to do that if someone pays a higher price?
Yeah, you automatically put the stems up, because the cool thing about a platform like BeatStars or Airbit is that you want it to be completely automated for the most part. Once you upload it, it takes care of the agreements, it takes care of the stems. You upload your stems and things like that, so that when someone comes and they say, hey, I want this track, I want these rights, and it has your different tier pricing and things like that. It's completely automated to where you create the beat, you upload it, and upload the stems you need. Have your agreements and pricing set up, and then you don't really have to worry about it other than driving traffic and just making people aware that your music is available.
Arco asks, is there a specific structure for beats for making sales?
It's pretty close to what I do for sync. Like I'll do short intro, verse one, hook, verse two, hook,
No.
maybe a bridge, a short bridge, or third kind of verse, or breakdown. I know breakdowns are pretty popular now, where it's like you're not doing a whole third verse these days, and then final hook, and then yeah.
I'll say, as far as structure, a lot of the rap stuff that I'm being shown by other people, and a lot of this stuff could be beats from Beatstars or just rap in general, is
Mhm.
not really specific verse chorus. It's hard to really hear where the chorus starts and where the
Yeah,
verse ends because it's all the same 4 bar loop through the whole thing. It feels like.
yeah.
Uh, I know that's probably you're probably doing more because you're used to actual structure for
It would
sing.
drive me nuts.
Me too. I can't deal with it. They play it at school, and I'm just hearing a monotone rap over a single beat, a 4 bar loop for 2 minutes, and it to
Yeah,
me. But I know that's part of the popularity of what it is. It always has been a little bit like that.